Hey, what's up everybody? This is Alex Molina93 here. Today is going to be my reaction to Angry Video Game Nerd, Castlevania II, Simon's Quest, episode 180. For the first time, a reaction for both episodes for AVGN. So, I'm going to put the different timestamps if you want to watch them both at the same time or you want to skip to the other one. It's up to you. And this is requested by The Return of Game 1 Music HD, MHA Gaming Channel, and Gene Otaku 91. So big shout out for all of you. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Alright, here we go for episode 1. 1, 2, 3.
This game sucks. Castlevania 1 and 3 are great classic Nintendo games, but for Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, the game designers obviously were not thinking straight. At first, it seems like a pretty decent game. This is the first time, a little different from the first in the series.
Well, since this is his first episode, it doesn't show his face as of yet.
The first thing that's strikingly different is the
till
fact that
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde
talk to people and buy stuff. Never really minded that. It makes it a little more like an adventure story, and it's kind of like Zelda, so that's okay. But the first problem comes in when it changes from day to night.
What a horrible night to have a curse.
Why does this need to happen so often? Like every 5 minutes? Why does it take so long? Nobody feels like sitting through this every time. How would you like it if you were playing a game and then every 5 minutes I came over and paused
No way, this is unnecessary.
10 seconds and then let you continue to play the game. Now, I mean, why did they think that that would be a good idea and interrupt the gameplay? Did they think it would be more realistic? I mean, in real life, I don't have to stop in my tracks when the sun sets and a fucking box doesn't pop up in the air. I mean, this is one of the most annoying features in any game ever.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, I mean, the monsters are stronger at night and the stores are closed. But why is that necessary and why does the game have to stop? It's fucking retarded.
Yeah, getting interrupted every 5 minutes.
Why do you have to die when you fall in the water? That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. This guy can go all over fighting hordes of evil monsters, but he can't even fucking swim?
Well, the game design doesn't let you swim.
Sometimes I don't feel like going down the stairs just to get down to ground level. I mean, there's no reason I should have to do that when I can just take a shortcut and jump down. But oops, I shouldn't do that. There might be water down there.
Yeah, you never know what's going to come next.
Another thing that's really annoying about this game is the fact that you have to buy weapons and items. I mean, still, that's not uncommon. You know, like I said, that's the same thing you have to do in many great games like Zelda. But let me explain. Here you have to collect hearts, which count as money. I mean, that's kind of odd, because usually hearts count as life or energy, you know. So that's kind of strange, but, you know, that's not the point. The point is that the items you need to buy are too fucking expensive, and the hearts don't add up enough. It takes too long to get enough of them to buy something, and it gets boring wandering around killing the same monsters over and over again just so you can buy a flame whip.
Yeah, I mean, it gets old and repetitive.
That's pretty weird itself, isn't it? I mean, they were really being creative with that one, the flame whip. Anyway, about the hearts.
It looks kind of cool, I guess.
It takes too long to buy stuff, and to add on to the problem, when you die, you lose all your hearts and you have to start all over again. I mean, doing this doesn't add to any of the game's difficulty or challenge. It just makes us have to do more of the same monotonous stuff over again, and it's not fun. It's boring. Oh look, I finally got enough hearts to go and buy a plant that I need to cross the swamp.
Feel sorry for you.
Now let me get to the store.
And for the Castlevania fans.
It's fucking nighttime. Now the stores are all closed and I have to wait for it to turn day again. Oh well, I might as well kill some zombies in the meantime and stock up on some more hearts. Oh shit! Now I gotta start all over again.
Yeah.
One of the worst things in the game are the pitfalls, which are areas where there's like stones or blocks that look like you can walk on them, but instead you just fall through.
When it comes to game designs like this,
are the first time walking through, so you just have to keep throwing holy water all over to see where they are. It's retarded. Why should I have to do that? Again, it doesn't add up to any of the fun, challenge of the game. It's just unfair and it's annoying.
Yep.
In the dungeons, there's no bosses at the end, which is a big disappointment. Every Nintendo gamester knows that at the end of a level or a dungeon, labyrinth or whatever, there's always supposed to be a big guy who you fight. But here, they just got lazy and only put a few bosses in the game and left some of the dungeons just empty, like this one. So most of the
Yeah, there
dungeons
is
you go
supposed to
through,
be a
mansions
challenge
to be exact, there's
at the
nothing
end of
at
the
the
level.
end except for a crystal orb that you can't touch. In the rest of the Castlevania games, the tradition goes like this. You fight a boss, you defeat him, then an orb comes down, and you touch it. There you go, on to the next level. But in Castlevania II, how would you ever figure out that you're supposed to throw an oak stake at that orb? I mean, when you first
Oh,
get the oak
man.
stake, you assume it's a weapon, and you throw it only to find that it does absolutely nothing, and that you
This
waste
game
it by
has a
throwing
lot
it,
of
so you have
backtracking.
to get it all over again. There are parts in the game that are definitely not self-explanatory and are too hard to figure out. Take this dead end, for example. Would you guess that you're supposed to pass through this wall? How? You have to kneel down by it for like 10 seconds. Now still, that's not enough to make it so cryptic and hidden that we can't figure it out. Oh, please give us more for our buck and make it harder so we can wander around the whole game and exhaust every possibility before we find out. Okay, guess what? You need to have a red crystal selected and be kneeling down and wait a little while before this magic tornado comes and takes you to the next part of the game.
I mean, how you're supposed to know that back in the day? I mean, unless you have a Nintendo Power magazine.
Most of the townspeople have things to say which aren't important at all, so why do you have to read them? Here in the dungeons, there's books that you may find which actually give you clues about things in the game that you may need to know about. But when I find these books half the time, it's by accident, so I may hit the button and cancel it out, which means that I don't even get to read it and I don't have a second chance. Why can't I do that when it changes from day to night? That would actually be helpful. So what the game designers
right?
figured is this. It isn't absolutely necessary for me to read about how to find Dracula's castle or what I'm supposed to do with an oak stake, but what I do need to read, again and again constantly, is the morning sun has vanquished the horrible night. How about vanquish this horrible game? The only sure way to get through this awful game is to enter a code, but even that is way more tedious than it should be. While most of the Castlevania games have symbols you enter for a code, this one just has a whole bunch of numbers.
Oh,
I mean, like,
man.
one of those little parts would be enough
Why
for
not
a
just the
password, but
short
why
digits?
4? Like, why so many? In general, I hate games that
Less
have passwords
letters.
like this because sometimes they have uppercase and lowercase
Less letters,
letters.
less numbers
Like the L's,
for a password.
look like I's, the zeros look like O's, the 8's look like 5's. So, why does there have to be so many digits? Like, why can't it just be numbers or something? Like, just numbers and not letters. I mean, it takes me like 5 minutes to enter this code when it
that
should
is
only take
confusing.
like 5 seconds. It's friggin' stupid. Okay, so say we enter the code and we go to Dracula's castle. You'll be pretty disappointed how anticlimactic this game is. It isn't even worth putting in a code, let alone playing the whole game all the way through, which if you did, I feel bad for you. I mean, first of all, there's no enemies in Dracula's castle. You just walk all the way through, and the only obstacles
it gets
are
so
just
boring.
like going
I
up
mean,
and down steps, which
there's
won't hurt
there's
you, and they
supposed to be a
aren't challenging
It is
either. They're
supposed to
just
be a
tedious.
challenge.
I mean, what the hell is the point of going through the castle if there's nobody to fight? Did the game designers just like run out of time or
Yeah,
something?
so empty.
So then you get up to
Empty of
Dracula, and
level.
guess what? He doesn't look anything like Dracula. Instead, he looks like a Grim Reaper, and he throws sickles. I mean, did the people who made this game even know what Dracula is? He's a fucking
I have no
vampire.
idea. They didn't know.
Alright, on top of everything,
I guess.
Dracula's way too easy. Check this out. This is a trick that I discovered myself, and so could you without the help of any strategy guide. When Dracula first appears, he stands there for a while, and he gives you plenty of time to land lots of free hits. Not only does he stand there for a long time, but everything that hits him will stun him and give you even more time. Naturally, you'll probably be using
This
the
boss
flames
looks like a
because it's one of
joke.
the most effective weapons in the game.
This Grim
but using it
Reaper
against
looks like a
Dracula,
joke.
It makes it simply impossible for him to even do anything. He has
Yeah,
no
this Grim
chance.
Reaper
The
looks-
second you start throwing that shit at him, you've
I
already
mean,
won.
He
I mean,
makes
why is it
the
that
Grim
easy?
Reaper from Billy
Did
and
they
Mandy
even
look
test
more
the shitty
menacing
game
than
out
this.
before they released it?
My
What a
God.
piece of shit. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel horrible that I had to play this game.
I mean,
in
I
order
don't
to
see
make
this as a
video.
bad game, but
I did it to demonstrate
still,
its dreadfulness.
this is not a
and I
game you
forced
would
myself
come
to
back
play
and
it
play.
just so that you don't have to. So you should thank me for telling you to stay away from this horrible steaming pile of goat shit. I mean, I know it's useless complaining about a game that was made back in the late 80s or earlier 90s or whatever, but it just blows my mind how fucking horrible it is. I mean, it's consistently annoying. Why? Why is it so bad? If all these problems were changed,
Yeah,
then
I
we'd
mean,
have
this
a great
sequel
trilogy
is
of
disappointing.
classic Castlevania games. But history is history, and we might as well try to count Castlevania III as, the second in the series, and leave this awful piece of horseshit alone, as it stands today as one of the biggest fuck-ups of all time.
Damn.
Thank you for listening. Good night.
Okay.
The ending sucks too.
Alright, here we go for episode 80. 1, 2, 3. That is a nice artwork.
This game is the unholy fuckness. You probably remember it as my first game review.
Yep,
that was
I
5
just
years
reacted
ago,
to that.
Before I took on the regular duty of playing shitty duty.
So
Back
let's see
then,
what you
I
have.
wasn't as hardcore. I used a code and I skipped over a lot of the
Let's
game.
see the unfinished
So now
business
it's my second chance,
for this
'cause I'm gonna do
for
it
this
for real
episode.
this time. I only scraped the surface off this smelly turd, and after that, it really starts to stink. Just to clarify, though this game is terribly flawed, it still has a lot of nostalgic value for me. The graphics and the music are fantastic, and it still
I mean,
has
this game looks
that
okay,
Castlevania
but
atmosphere.
it is disappointing. Yeah, I agree on those points that he said.
Oh, then there's parts like that. Why is it necessary to interrupt the game like that so often?
Very
You
unnecessary.
need hearts to buy stuff, and when you die, you lose all your hearts, and you have to start from scratch.
No,
so if you're trying
my.
to buy something, your best bet is to stay in one spot that you feel safe, and just keep killing the same enemies over and over. I mean, what fun is that? When it's
Not fun
nighttime,
at all.
you're just totally screwed, because the stores are all closed. So the only thing you have to do is just wait for daytime.
Well, it is
Chase
common that
zombies
some
around.
stores can be closed at
Nobody
night, but
fucking
there are some
zombie
night
piece of
shifts.
shit. It's times like this
I mean,
when
it
you get real
depends
bored,
on the
you
store.
find glitches, like
Or
at
on the
door.
place.
Why does the holy water just stop? For some reason, I always found that amusing. I could do that for hours.
He's enjoyed it.
This is the first Castlevania game
That looks
to
like
adopt
a-
the non-linear style.
a
where You have
glitch.
to roam around and
Maybe.
explore. It's a neat idea, just not executed too well. The whole plot is that after Simon destroyed Dracula in the first game, all his body parts were scattered into different mansions. Now, Simon has to rid the curse of Dracula once and for all, and to do this, he has to go into each mansion and throw a fucking oak stake at an orb. You now possess Dracula's rib. Or wait, possess? Possess? Are you kidding me?
Possess.
Well, anyway, it's boggled my brain to no end. How is anybody supposed to know to throw an oak stake at an orb? So I found this one clue. It
Like
reads,
I
"A
said,
symbol
I
of
mean,
evil
unless you
will
have a
appear when
Nintendo
you
Power
strike the
magazine,
stake." Gee, that
how
really
anybody-
helps. Couldn't it at least
how
mention like,
anybody
where you're
can
supposed
guess
to
back in the
keep
day.
A pear? A pear? Does anybody proofread this shit? It only
The
goes to show how
spelling
much effort they
of those
spend on the game
dialogues.
when they can't even get the fucking text right. The text itself seems to be one of the main issues. Not just spelling errors, but the information too. It seems like they're giving you clues, but they never make any sense, and most of the time they're just flat out lies. In adventure games, especially RPGs, getting clues is a big part of the game. So as a gamer, you're inclined to regard what they say as true. After all, why else would it be in the game? To confuse the shit out of you, that's why.
Yeah.
The part that's disturbed
perhaps.
me the most is that when you walk in this house, you find this old creepy bitch sitting on the floor. Looks like roadkill with a mop on top. She says, "Let's live here together."
Oh, hell
Okay,
no.
Fine, we'll just live here.
No.
Yeah, so nice place.
I mean, with a stranger?
To sum
No.
things up, reading anything in this game is just as useless as the guy in Zelda 2 who says, "I am error."
I mean, some people can be
That's
good
why
or
this
bad.
is what you call a Nintendo Power game.
The music sounds nice.
Of course, there's the wall where you have to select the red crystal, kneel down, and then wait for a tornado.
but that's just the beginning. There's a part where you have to go under a lake. I can just barely see the platform, so I get the idea that I'm supposed to go down there. But if you touch the water, you die. You have to select the blue crystal, then you kneel down for a few seconds, and then you can go through the water. Who the fuck is supposed to figure that out? There's
Beats
another
me.
spot where you have to go into a cemetery and drop a piece of garlic so you can get a silver knife. Who's this person in a robe who waits in a cemetery for someone to come by and drop garlic? So there's the cryptic parts, but then there's parts which are just plain annoying. Some of the jumps are outrageous. Oh, man, get up there.
Yeah, this is annoying.
Then
It
there's
is so
these
frustrating
blocks.
that it
Doesn't
has
look
to
that
be
hard.
precise.
It seems like you could just hop on over, but if your timing isn't 100% accurate, your jump doesn't reach. I'm gonna try again.
Come on.
This game is poopy.
Poopy.
The most annoying enemies in this game that I never forget are the blobs. They just bounce all over the place. You can't get away from them, especially if you're on the stairs.
Oh my god.
Oh, what? Let's take a look at that again. I'm on the stairs, totally defenseless. The blob knocks me off, and I fall through the fake
Oh
blob.
my
That
god.
is so fucking cheap.
Yep.
The most annoying hazard in this game is water. Seriously, water?
Yeah, like this
Why
game
is that
wants you
such
to
an
drown.
issue? Oh, come on! That wasn't even on the same screen! The last thing to mention are the bosses. There's very few of them, and let me tell you, they got lazy with these bosses. I mean, real lazy. You know how hard the Grim Reaper is in the first game? Well, if you do, then wait till
Yeah,
you
that
see how
Grim
hard
Reaper
he
is
here.
so much harder than this game.
Damn, I'm lucky I got past that Grim Reaper. Then, of course, you walk through an empty castle to fight the easiest end boss in video game history. And there you have Castlevania II. Well, that was a mouthful, but we should conclude this episode with the last of the NES
Dracula's
trilogy,
Curse.
Castlevania III, Dracula's Curse. In this game, you take control of Trevor Belmont, an ancestor of Simon's who battles Dracula for the first time, making this game a prequel. It goes back to the basic style of the first game, but has two main innovations.
Yeah,
The
this is a
first
great
thing,
game,
you
but
often
very
come to a
hard.
fork in the road
Even
and you get to
harder
choose
than the
which
first
path
one.
to take. The other thing is that you get to play as other characters whom you meet along the way. There's Grant, who climbs on walls, Sypha, who has magic spells, and Alucard, who can turn into a bat, but you need enough hearts. to
Alucard
do
is
it.
awesome.
Alucard happens to be Dracula's son. The name Alucard's Dracula spelled backwards, and it came from the 1943
Yeah,
movie
I didn't knew
Son of
that
Dracula.
since the beginning, but
Announce Count
that is
Alucard.
a coincidence.
R-A-C. What are you mumbling about? Nothing, just a silly idea hit me.
With these innovations, I think it's the best Castlevania game on the NES. But it's also the hardest.
Yep.
There's a stage where the screen keeps moving up. If you're caught at the bottom, you die. What kind of logic is that? In Trevor Belmont's world, what killed him? The TV screen? So you
Yeah, I
can't
mean, I
waste
don't
any
get
time. You
that
gotta
game
keep going
design.
up. No, what the shit was that fucking nonsense? Tell me that's fair to make you have to hurry only to have knights appear out of nowhere. Your greatest hazard in this game is not pits, not water or spikes or anything like that. It's the stairs. The fucking stairs are your worst nightmare. If you're next to the stairs and you try to use your special attack,
Yeah,
the
it is
attack
sad
doesn't
that
work.
in stairs you
Instead, go
cannot.
up the stairs. Look at this. Like, God, get down. I want to attack the knight. Oh, God, get off the stairs.
Yeah, it is sad that in stairs you cannot do anything besides going
God,
down and
you're
up.
defenseless. When you're on the stairs, your ass is fucked. How about the floor? Let's make the floor a death trap too. Okay, that's fine if you want to play shit like that, but how in the holy goddamn mother shit fucking Christ of cunt fuck am I supposed to attack the enemy when the fucking floor's falling down? Did the game developers expect you to be some kind of miracle multitasker?
Thank God for Alucard. See, I can cheat too, you rotten bastard.
Well,
and when
at
you're
the very
using
least.
Cypher's freeze spell, whatever you do,
Cannot blame you
don't
since
freeze the enemy
game is so
projectiles.
hard.
That was a disaster. And that's the way this whole game is. It's just an ongoing train wreck.
Yeah, the enemies don't leave you alone and they just surround you. I mean, look at this. So many lives
This fucker's
wasted.
got no mercy. This is the reason why Game Genie was invented. But I'm not doing that because I'm gonna do this legit. Now where's that extra live code?
Help me. That's it. You spell help me. Isn't that the most appropriate password you ever heard? Because anyone who plays this game, that's exactly what you're thinking.
Yep.
I've made it to Dracula, but never beaten him. Wherever you stand, 2 towers of fire come up, trapping you, while another tower comes up in the middle. How are you supposed to dodge that? It gets you every time. The worst thing about this is that when you die, it doesn't start you back at the stairs. No, not like the other games. Instead, it sends you all the way back to the beginning of the stage. It's
So
fucking relentless.
unfair.
And Dracula has 3 forms. You're telling me you have to make it all the way through the stage and fight 3 forms of Dracula without any fucking continues or power-ups? Are you mad?
Oh
How are
my
you supposed
God.
to do that?
If there's any game that puts you in a bad mood, it's Castlevania III. You know? Like, if you want a game that'll piss you off, putting this game in your Nintendo is like running open-armed out into a rainstorm of piss. You want to go balls to the wall? Well, there's one way to put your balls to the wall, and that's to stick your dick in an electric outlet. You want to play shit tennis with an orangutan while having your head up a hyena's asshole?
Oh, no.
Well, good luck. Well, that finishes off the Castlevania trilogy.
Yep.
But there's more memories to be shared.
Oh yeah, Super
Dracula
Castlevania
never
4.
dies.
Great
Halloween
game.
is going overtime. It's a Castlevania-thon. Oh! Oh!
Alright then. So there you go guys, that is my reaction to Angry Video Game Nerd, Castlevania II, Simon's Quest, and Castlevania Part 2, Episode 1 and Episode 80. I mean, the first episode for the AVGN, it's not bad. I mean, not bad for a start, but it is actually just a normal review you see nowadays. But with episode 80, where he has the unfinished business for Castlevania 2, I mean, it is a lot better. I mean, a lot more effort than the first episode. But for the first episode, it's not bad. I mean, for Castlevania 2, I mean, it is an okay game from what I've seen. I mean, I haven't played it yet, but it looks disappointing. I mean, for some of the changes that are unnecessary and some of the game designs that are questionable, this is a game that you would not come back and play at all in terms of Castlevania. As for Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, well, it is a fun game, but it is extremely hard. It has like it is hard like a Ninja Gaiden game. I mean, it has levels of hardness of Ninja Gaiden. I mean, it is cool that you can play as the other characters besides Simon. Alucard is cool, and you have the other characters in Castlevania 3 that have unique abilities, but you need a lot of more patience with Dracula's Curse. You need a lot of patience for Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. So yeah, good episodes, and hope you guys did enjoy them as well. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you want to check out Cinemassacre, Angry Video Game Nerd, and the episodes, I'll put the links in the description below, and better subscribe to him. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos to come for you guys to enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and a like button below. And comment in the section below, what do you guys think about the episodes 1 and 80, Castlevania 2 and Part 2? Do you like them or not? It is your choice. So, thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Peace. Just like that.